and welcome to part D of our Teaching the Love of Reading series. In part D, we are talking about fluency. Fluency, as you can see from my slide, is the rate at which your reader reads words per minute and also their expression. Are they reading monotone, or are they knowing that when they see quotation marks and different characters that they can change their voices and make it almost as though they're putting on a play for their audience? Hello and welcome to Teaching the Love of Reading. We are on the portion of fluency. Fluency is the rate your student reads per minute and also their expression. There are many ways to do this. I have a kit that I bought from Lakeshore Learning called Building Your Fluency Card Bank, and it has cards by different levels of cold reads to do these running records. You can make a running record with a book that your child has, or you can look at some of the resources that I listed on the website or Google yourself running records and see what sources you can find. The idea of this is to have your child read a grade level text and to see how quickly they are reading. You can also be listening to their fluency. With this kit came a really nice card that goes through fluency skills checklist. The idea of this is also for the students to be able to do their own fluency on their own as well. So do we read with a good pace, or are we too fast or too slow? Do we raise and lower our voice to show emotion? Do we emphasize important words by changing our tone of voice? Do we pause at commas and stop at periods? Do you raise your voice for a question? Do you read the dialogue as if people were talking? Do they change their voice? And do you understand what you read? So those are the fluency and expression, and then there's also how many words per minute. On the slides that you're seeing for this fluency section, I have listed the researched amount of words per minute that students should have at each grade level for the fall, the middle of the year, and then springtime. So we picked a level N, which is a fourth grade level, to see if Aubrey here is going to be on level. So I just photocopied that. On here, I'm going to go ahead and make notes. I'm going to put a check mark above the one she gets correct, and I might make notes on other ones that she gets wrong. On this slide, I'm showing you what's called a running record. So a running record is a way that teachers or parents can figure out how many words per minute their child is reading. As you can see on the left of this slide, I have found a resource that goes through what is expected of kids at each grade level for their words per minute for the fall and kind of mid-year and end-year goals. And I also included some links and resources of where you can go and get running records to print off. You can also make them yourself out of a book that you know is at your child's level by photocopying the page or typing up the words from that page and then doing a running record. So I am going to do a short video here where I do a running record on one of my children, so you can kind of see how you might do that at home just to get a feel for what rate is my child reading at. On a running record, if you have a formal one like this, you're going to have numbers along the side. These numbers are the word count for these sentences, and then they're going to stop. This one is at 190 because around this age you want to be in that 179 to 190 mark. So I'm going to go ahead and take notes. I have the timer here in front of me. You can use a stand timer, you can use a timer on your phone. I'm going to utilize my computer timer. And Aubrey, you're going to go ahead and do your best. If she gets stuck in a word, I usually give her about 5 to 10 seconds, and then I tell her the word and mark that I told it to her on my sheet. Ready, set, go.
On taking Dad to work today, Maria went with her dad to the animal hospital where he is a veterinarian. Maria loves animals, so she was very excited to help her dad at work. The first thing Maria did was check the animals that had stayed at the hospital overnight. She made sure they had plenty of food and water for the pets who were picked up by their owners. Maria cleaned out their cages. Maria helped her dad weigh the animals and take their temperatures. She gave a treat to every cat and dog she saw. This is funny, Maria thought. Maybe I could be a veterinarian. But Maria also knew there were sad times. Some animals were sick. They couldn't be saved. Her dad had to put them to sleep. On the way home, Maria asked her dad how he got through the sad days. Well, Maria, he said, I'm just happy the good days.
Stop. Okay, so we got to the 1 minute. I didn't end up going and checking because she was a pretty fast reader and there was a lot of words, so I just kind of followed along without making a mark. Some teachers and parents will make a mark above. I went ahead and circled words that she omitted. So these would be considered errors because she didn't say these 2 words. And then on these ones, she substituted. So instead of saying after, she said for. Instead of saying fun, she said funny. So she got to here would be 156, and then I count on 157, 158, 159. And then we're going to take away the 4 errors, which would be 155 words per minute is what she's at. So again, if you look here, 155 words per minute for the 4th grade is kind of where she wanted to be. She's actually 5th grade. So 5th grade fall, she would fall in the 75th percentile. So showing that she's a strong reader, but still has area for growth to get in that 90th percentile. If we're looking at 4th grade at that word count for a 4th grade level text, she was kind of where you wanted to be fall time. This is at end of 4th grade, so I'm kind of looking that there's room for growth, but we're doing okay. We're kind of on grade level and we're just going to keep working on this. One thing that you can do with this kit in particular or others is these are actually able to use expo markers on them. So Aubrey can take these with a sand timer or the timer on the computer, and she can actually read through it and cross off when she gets something wrong and kind of start progress monitoring herself for how many words per minute. Now obviously hers might be a little bit different than mine because she may not catch all of her errors, but it's helping them, and that's one of the goals of this kit. And it comes with a Fluency progress chart, so we could make a photocopy of this and put Aubrey's name here. We could write the name of the passage on the job, that it was a level N, today's date, and that the first time she read it was 155 words per minute. Then we would continue to practice reading. Maybe in a month we try reading this again and we see if she's improving. Then we give it another month of her practicing her reading skills and we see if she improves her progress. Once they get into that 90th, 95th percentile, that's when you would move up to the next level and continue to help them reach their highest potential. On this slide, I just share a few ideas of how to build fluency within your student. And one way is to have them reread a text over and over again. And this will just increase their rate as they're seeing those same words over and over and just getting faster at decoding them. Also having them read a book that's 1 or 2 levels below their current level, so they're really building that confidence and speed. Another idea is to do a reader's theater or a puppet show where you're taking a book that has a lot of dialogue in it and characters and having different puppets act out the different voices or different people in your family or classroom act out the roles. You can also Google Reader's Theater or go to Amazon and put in Reader's Theater, and there's resources that come with scripts actually printed out as well if you don't want to make your own script out of a book. And just reading aloud with your child and really pointing out when there's quotation marks in the book and showing them how you make different voices and modeling for them what it sounds like to be monologue. And have them hear like, oh, that isn't very exciting to hear you, Mom and Dad, when you just talk like that. Okay, I'll try the character voices too. So those are just some ideas.